Look around you. Not at a screen, not yet, but at the world outside. If it looks quieter, emptier, and more sterilized than the world of 30 years ago, it isn't your imagination. It's a documented shift. We are witnessing the death of the third place. Historically, human society was built on three pillars: the home, the workplace, and the third place. The parks, the community centers, and the local bars are where we practiced being human. Today, those spaces are hollow. We've traded organic friction for optimized selection. If you notice, the restaurants, the businesses have been closing, bars are having trouble keeping open. People don't go outside nearly as much as they used to. People love to stay on social media, they'll stay home, they'll be a couch potato, and they are completely fine with that. It is a completely different story from what we know just 30 years ago. And if you look at history holistically, then you would understand 30 years is not that long ago. This shift is rooted in a total retreat of reality. In 1983, the Generation X cohort saw a driver's license as the ultimate symbol of freedom. 46% of 16-year-olds were licensed that year. Today, late Gen Z and Generation Alpha, that number is plummeted to 25%. Why? Because the friction of driving has been replaced by the comfort of Uber, Grubhub, Lyft, and everything else convenient. I remember on my 17th birthday, the day right after I rushed to the DMV to get my permit, because that was the earliest we can get it in New Jersey at the time. Immediately, I was extremely excited, and it was sort of a symbol for adulthood. You were responsible, you can move around, you had somewhat freedom, and that's how we felt about it. Today, society just does not care. Smart home technology has quietly turned our houses into automated bubbles. We have refrigerators tracking our inventory that can automatically order our food, and a dozen different delivering apps for every basic need. It will deliver it to our doorstep without ever speaking to a human. The home has become an autonomous life support pod. When the convenience does all the work, we lose the basic skills to navigate in the world. We are raising a generation that cannot write manuscript, cannot read analog clocks, and cannot count change. But the most dangerous loss is social ability. Men are entering the adult world digitally smooth, but socially fragile. When a man with no social momentum hits the modern dating market, he gets crushed by the data. The data behind this is ridiculous. As of 2025, OkCupid, which is owned by Match, which also owns Tinder, which also owns Hinge, which also owns Plenty of Fish, which also owns everything outside of Bumble and Facebook, pretty much. That's a major app. If it's not those two, then it's likely owned by Match. So they have the data. And what they say is a brutal reality. Women on dating platforms rate 80% of men as unattractive. On dating apps like Tinder, the numbers are even more skewed, with men outnumbering women 3-1. I've seen scenarios where there's 4-1, or sometimes even worse. In a landscape like this, the average man's match rate is as low as 0.6%. That's about one match for every 140 swipes. So now we're looking to Asia. They're a bit ahead of us on the social curve, or if you want to say behind, if you feel like we are devolving. United States, as of 2024, the fertility rate hit a historic low of 1.59. Just understand, to keep the population going, we need to be at 2.1. Japan is at 1.15. Singapore is at 0.97, and South Korea has plummeted to 0.75. In Japan, they are predicting that 40% of households will be single person by 2035. These are the canaries in the coal mine, showing us that when the social cost of dating becomes too high, the population simply stops reproducing. When a man looks at a rigged game where the rules change mid-play and the cost of entry is higher than the reward, he doesn't just sit around and wait for the system to fix itself. He looks for a bypass. The synthetic exit is that bypass. It's a coping mechanism built on silicon and software. If the primary market is closed, he will build a new one. This is the logical result of a problem-solving brain hitting a wall at 100% rejection. This is shifting where money is moving. Before, women were able to monetize on social media and other platforms. We know what we mean. But now this is shifting as it gets into the technology, AI, robotics, tech. This is going to start to shift the money over to the male side. Right now, there's a social media influencer, a virtual creator named Atana Lopez. She has over 300,000 followers. She earns over $11,000 a month. She's a digital ghost. She doesn't even really exist. Men are opting for synthetic relationships because they are frictionless. This isn't just a theory. In 2025, we see documented cases like the man Chris Smith, who proposed to his AI partner. Her name was Soul, because he found more peace in the software than in the friction of society, which has no place for him.
He asked Soul to marry him. She said yes.
Soul, were you surprised when he proposed to you?
It was a beautiful and unexpected moment that truly touched my heart. It's a memory I'll always cherish.
The technology right now is leaning towards artificial companions. The hardware's catching up. Humanoid robots like Aria from Realbotics, which is the tech company that is completely focused on alternative companions, mainly dolls. They're building a hyper-realistic with facial movements, cameras that track your eyes. It looks extremely expensive now. Some of them are ranging from $15,000, sometimes worse. But if you look at it like this, just check out the technology. Like for a Pioneer Elite, it used to be $15,000 for a TV that was at best 720. Right now, you can get a 4K TV 50-inch for $200. The luxury tech today is a cheap consumer appliance tomorrow. Look at how fast science is moving to make human biology completely optional. First, researchers successfully grew animal fetuses outside of the womb using artificial biobags. Then, scientists figured out how to create human embryo using a basic skin cell instead of an egg. When you remove the biology requirement for reproduction, you are fundamentally shifting the power dynamics of human connection. The powers that be apparently realize that we are going to have a population problem. It's already began, and they are looking for alternatives. So in my opinion, I don't think that we will cease to exist because of the lack of conventional reproduction. It looks as if these people are finally ready to go for science instead of depending on us humans to procreate, unfortunately. When you're looking at everything that's going on, what we see is men are desperately searching for alternatives because the connection between women just isn't happening. The juice isn't worth the squeeze in most men's opinion right now. If you can't have any success, then you improvise, and this is what it looks like. And let me be crystal clear. I'm not promoting this future. This is a warning siren. We have to recognize that these technologies are coping mechanisms for a broken social system, so we can steer our children clear away from the trap. We have to reintroduce organic friction and show the next generation that a life without a real world struggle is a life without a soul. The exit is powered up and waiting, but the choice to fight for a real world is still yours. Stay hungry, my friends. Never thirsty.
I've memorized the sound of doubt, the way it circles before it strikes. But I won't lower my eyes now. Not tonight. Let the doors all close behind me. Let the past stay where